What a day, ladies and gentlemen. India's historic win in hockey, a consecutive bronze in Olympics, a crucial wrestling match, and the India-Pak face-off for gold in javelin. Well, the bronze win was in seconds celebrated across the country as India beat Spain 2-1. It was not just emotions of a win, but emotions even as the country celebrated not just hockey and the brilliant team, but the Great Wall, PR Sreejesh. Indian hockey's Man Friday, quite literally. It's actually consecutive medals for first time since 1972. India is 8-time Olympic champions, 13 medals. No country has won more medals in hockey like India in universe of Olympics. But despite all of this, it took Tokyo 2020 to end a 41-year medal drought, but brilliantly followed up in Paris. And as the celebrations began, PR Sreejesh, veteran goalkeeper, paid a heartfelt tribute to the sport, bowing down to his hockey gear. It didn't stop just there. A gesture that resonated deeply with his teammates and fans alike. And they bowed to Sreejesh. Well, that's what teams do, that's what teams are, and that's what victories are all about. But there's so much more that goes on the field. We'll be looking at all of this with our experts. Meanwhile, my colleague Karishma spoke to the Great Wall of Indian hockey, PR Sreejesh himself. Let's listen in to this exclusive.
It's good. The best way to say goodbye to this beautiful game. And thanks to my team members, they've done a wonderful job. They didn't disappoint me. So I'm happily going back home.
From sitting at the goalpost in Tokyo to today laying in front of it, folding your hands in front of the goalpost, how has the journey been? What was the conversation like?
I said, a last goodbye. That's it. And thanks to God who helped me a lot. All this up and downs, how the way he protected me, how the way the goalpost protected me. A lot of times when he itself saved the goals for me. So it's tough, hard. It's quite hard. I mean, some talks are personal. You cannot express it.
And talk to us about the match today. How important was this match to win the bronze medal, to go out on a high? And of course, the entire team dedicated this campaign to you. What were the emotions right before the match? Maybe you can tell us a little bit of the dressing room talk before and after the match.
See, the team had only one dream, to win a medal for country, because reaching there, working hard, been through a lot of struggles. Losing in the semi-finals, it's tough for everyone to just bounce back. But still, one thing, just go, give your 100%, enjoy your game. The one thing everyone said is like, give your 100%, even if you lose, no problem. But give. There should not be any chance to regret. So that's how we managed, and and we done it. So it's great.
And Sreejesh, I remember asking you in Tokyo, and Manpreet was sitting with you, that how the celebrations are going to be, and Manpreet said he's not going to tell you. But can you tell me today what's going to happen?
Now, go back, just change, come back, get the medal, then...
And a message to the people of India who are wondering what Sreejesh is going to be up to now. Where can they see him? And just who've been shouting Sreejesh back home and here in the stadium.
Thank you very much, guys, for your great support. Without your support, I think nothing would have achieved. And thank you very much for trusting us. When we lost in the semis, everyone supported us really well in a positive way. Nobody said, okay, you lost. They said you put up a very good fight. So I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much for supporting me individually. These supports helped me to become what I am today. And last time, thank you very much once again.
Well, that was PR Sreejesh himself. And quite look at how he's talking. He's saying some things are so personal, not the best perhaps in explaining his emotions, but everyone has felt the emotions, particularly, look at that visual on your screens. That just says so much. I'm also being joined right now at this point by none other than PR Sreejesh's wife, Anisha. Well, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Many, many congratulations to you. It's very obvious how you're feeling, but as the country is celebrating, what are your thoughts at this point? It's been a while since we got to know about the win. How does it feel now?
Thank you so much. Actually, it's a great moment filled with immense pride and joy. And it is truly such a moment that achieving a bronze medal in the Olympic medal is, that too in the retirement match, is really a great achievement for my husband. And I am proud of him. And he will be an inspiration for those who know him.
Have you been able to speak to Sreejesh? What did he tell you before the match and as well as after the match? How does it really look like?
Actually, he called us before going for the match, and he was very much confident and was very sure that he will try his level best to achieve a bronze medal this time. And after the match also, he called me on phone, and he shared his happiness with the family.
Well, you know, everybody calls Sreejesh the Great Wall. But as a wife, how do you see him handle pressure?
Actually, he is not that much tensed person. He is very much confident and always a positive person. And he knows very well how to manage the stress and pressure behind the match, and being a celebrity. I don't know that that much.
Ma'am, what are your plans for him as he returns?
Actually, we haven't planned anything yet. We'll plan something great because this is his retirement match and he is coming back like a hero, champion. So we will definitely give him some surprise.
Well, I'm sure about that. But just one question. You know, what's the kind of preparations you saw him being part of as a run-up to the Paris Olympics, as a wife, as a partner? How did you see him prepare for this?
Actually, I haven't. I am not doing anything specific. I am just like I am. I don't give that much pressure, household pressure to him. I am managing that. I mean, kids' education like that. I handle as I handle that only. And I don't give the much pressure, and always tries to give a positive atmosphere to him. That's all.
Well, many congratulations to you, ma'am. This victory is as much as yours as is his, and of course the country is jubilant, is celebrating with you. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, there's a India versus Pakistan face-off over javelin. If you are an Indian and you think Olympics, the first two words that pop up in your mind are his name, Neeraj Chopra. Success in Tokyo was a surprise, but the vast majority, and now success in Paris, is expected. It's just being taken for granted. Let me go to my panelists at this point. I'm being joined by Vedam Jaishankar, who's a sports journalist, Utsav Mishra, who's a senior coach official for the badminton team core group, and also he has helped coach Lakshya Sen during his earlier years in Bangalore. Ranjit Bajaj, who's a sports enthusiast, and Rahul Mehra, who's a lawyer. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's a big day. It's a high-stakes day. First to you at this point, Vedam Jaishankar, what do you make out of what's happened in the world of hockey, in the universe of hockey, and for India? It's So many emotions and so many sporting moments all captured in just one win.
I really because after yesterday was traumatic in every sense of the word. But after that, today to get this bronze medal in hockey was such a great relief because it really lifted you out of the depression that you got into yesterday with the wrestling fiasco. But certainly, hockey, when you look at it at one point of time, I personally thought hockey was a dead game, especially in India, because you didn't see the kids playing boys and girls, enough boys and girls playing. But suddenly now after Tokyo, you have one more medal. This is a great fillip to the game. It gives a lot of life and it's a great fillip to the game. I'm sure over the next period of time, we'll see a lot of kids taking to the game. And that should be a very, very pleasant sight for us to see because hockey, after all, is a beautiful game. And that's the beauty we have to enjoy. But looking at the Indian hockey team, the way they played right through this tournament, they had that, it was a bad day against Great Britain. Yes, we won, but we had to literally fight to our back to the wall. And I'm not sure if the refereeing was what you would call ideal, but we still got through that. That was a very scrappy affair as far as India was concerned. But I think when you look at it overall, sort of consistency and the fighting spirit that Indian hockey has brought in right through this Olympics is amazing. And that's the message we'd like to see again and again and again, that we are willing to scrap it, we're willing to fight to the core, to the last, and then you can see giants like Sreejesh, the way he played today. I mean, I don't know, the guy is so calm, so collected, so cool, and it's we who sit outside who are actually tense that, our heartbeat goes to 200 or 210 or whatever it is supposed to go to, and we sweat it out. Whereas he's so cool and so calm and so collected. Really, I mean, I don't have the words really. It's a fantastic win, and I think it's a great day for Indian hockey.
Right. I mean, I think everybody listening to you would agree. Those are very strong words to say that hockey was dead, because hockey is an emotion in India. I mean, nothing crosses cricket, and it's never been as cricket is, but nonetheless, it's a very deep emotion for India. And I think this hockey team, with this win and the earlier win, has a lot of credit. If you see hockey back on the streets, at least a lot of people are talking about hockey. That's just one part of it. But if I can come to Utsav Mishra at this point, it's been a bittersweet bag at the Olympics till now. Is that how you look at it? Because there are many who are comparing, say, the medals that India has had with other countries, with the top 10. We are far behind from what it was. But when you look at how India has moved forward over the last several years, we've, of course, had not such a great news with Sehrawat coming in, but nonetheless, it's also good. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is he anyways going to get a medal? Is that assured? But how does this really look at this point? How are you looking at India's journey?
Sorry, can you just come back again? I missed it, I think. Sneha?
Mr. Utsav Mishra, how do you really look at India's journey at this point? If you can hear me correctly, there are many people who talk about India not doing so well when you compare it to other countries. But let's just look at our own journey from what it has been to where it is today. Tokyo was the best Olympics that India has ever had. What do you make out of India's journey? Is it a bittersweet, or is there more to it?
As far as what I'm understanding, my career, past 15 years, India has definitely improved a lot. As far as badminton is concerned, I'm seeing players doing really good. But there has to be something which needs to be thought about because there are so many agencies involved in it, like federations, Sports Authority of India, Indian Olympic Association, different academies, state sports directorates. So I don't know who's going to take the responsibility for these things, where we are falling short. It's like just show must go on. There has to be something concrete which should come up, and then from there we can have some goal-winning performances. Like the way let's take Lakshya's example. Like the way he started, he entered into knockout rounds, He defeated Jonathan Christie against him. His record was like 1-4. He defeated him only once before. That was in 2020, if I remember, in all England semis. And after being down 8-2 from there, he came up 21-18 and 21-12. He defeated. He was in superb form. Next came to Pranay, then quarterfinals
Right.
against this Taipei player. Then Victor, then Lee Zizia. So Victor, we can understand record was not that great, but Lee Zizia again he had a 4-1 plus record. From there he lost, and we are going back and forth on these things because Olympics, if I understand it better, then Olympics is the journey of consistency of a player's career. They may win world championship, they may win certain super series titles, but Olympic talks about your journey because it is a
Right.
qualification. There is a qualification mark set to it. So Olympics talks about the consistency of a player's journey towards the goal of life.
Um, that's a little difficult thing to even accept, as there's so much of comparisons which are being done. Ranjit Bajaj, you're a sports enthusiast. You follow sports very closely. What would you say to what Utsav Mishra has just spoken? Let's look at what's happened in this Olympics itself. We've been so close to winning, and yet we are not there yet. We've had some great moments, some great sporting moments. Cannot take it away from the players for what they have done there on the ground. It's a celebration. Every sporting moment is, and we're not going to take it away from them. But nonetheless, we're going to get a gold. Hopefully, India is just believing we will in few hours from now. But otherwise, how does it look for you as a sporting enthusiast?
Good evening, Sneha. Thanks for having me, and I hope this is going to be another historic night for India because I'm talking about the gold, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to be getting tonight with Neeraj. But there are two parts to this question, ma'am. Ma'am, first, why are we so close and yet so far? And we've had so many fourths now in this Olympics itself. We've had 4 or 5 fourths. But earliest memories of all the people out there is P.T. Usha, again fourth, Milkha Singh fourth, Randhir Singh fourth, and there were 14 other. I was going back and seeing this because before this program, 14 other examples where Indians could have got a medal but they came fourth. But also to see how many bronzes we got and how many silvers we got. Actually, ma'am, these don't matter. Only what the one color which matters is a gold. For example, if you look at the table, Ireland has 4 gold medals and they are 13th on the table, whereas we have 4 bronze medals and we are 69th or 70th in the table. It's a huge difference, the color of the medal. And we Indians, somehow, even with all the sportsmen you need, just before we get to the main spot, we have a problem of probably choking. And we don't, I think 90%, see, once you get to that level, ma'am, where you are a prime athlete, the difference is not in the body. It's here, it's in the mind. And I think that's where we lack. We are not focusing on the mental strength training, the resilience required, the comebacks like you were talking about happening consistently, and believing in yourself that I'm a champion and I can get the gold. Neeraj Chopra got it because he, from day one, believed that he's going to get the gold medal. And I'm sure he's going to pull it off today as well. The moment you doubt yourself, that doesn't come. The second part of the question, I'm so happy that one of the panelists you have today is Rahul, sir, Rahul Mehra. And if his campaign, which he has been so diligently going on for the last so many years, I mean, I don't even know how long the great man has been doing this for, fighting a lone battle for getting our sports code implemented. That's when we're going to see consistency, which one of the other panelists was talking about. Consistency, ma'am, these players which we are coming up and the ones who are doing well is because of programs like TOPS and the Olympic Gold Quest and all, and SAI and all these bodies coming together and finding these athletes. You don't, in all the other countries which are doing well, you don't need to find athletes. They're part of the system. that means the cream rises to the top. There is a system in place where the grassroots are so well entrenched, and when by the time they come to the top, you already have your champions and you prepare them. Whereas in India, you're going out and looking for these people. Now, what the sports code does is it puts the onus back on the states and makes them accountable to the national body, because they all get grants and they're all being running by public money, but they're not answerable to anyone. And if that happens, our grassroots gets fixed. So there's a legal entanglement here, and the person who is the most perfect person to answer how do we get to the next step, and I'm sure he'll agree with me, that is the basic problem in all the federations. If all your federations, like ma'am, in a doctors association, you don't have an IS officer. In a press people's association,
let me just get in the man himself. Let me just get in Rahul Mehra himself to speak about this. Rahul Mehra, even as we've been coming close to wins, even as we have been winning as well in these Paris Olympics, a lot is being said about the investment that has been gone in these wrestlers. Do you see a marked change, a welcome change in how not just wrestlers, how the sports athletes from all fields, they are being treated, how they are being trained? Do you see a marked change, but are you happy with what you see?
Well, this is a question where one needs at least a couple of hours to address, but I'll try to do it in a couple of minutes. Look at the comparison. First of all, just look at, you said, are the Indian athletes being treated well? I think Vinesh Phogat is the biggest example of how an elite, how an athlete who even gets its footholds into a district level tournament should not be treated. And here we are talking about a Khel Ratna, which is the highest sporting award. She's a winner of that. She's multiple times CWG medalist, multiple times Asian medalist, multiple times Olympian, almost had won a gold for India this time. And this is the way the entire system treats her, where she is dragged to the streets. She sleeps nights and nights together on the road. She's protesting, not for herself, mind you. She's protesting for what is right and for the rights of her women athletes, women co-wrestlers who have been sexually abused. And what does the state do? The state turns back, brands her as a liar, tells her take a jolly good ride, doesn't support her except giving money. Money is only a small part. Mentally, you got to be there. Imagine, with all these odds, Vinesh Phogat was asked, actually there was a conspiracy by the federation bosses that she should not in any way be allowed and permitted to qualify, even get a semblance of a chance to qualify for Olympics, because they did not allow her to have a selection trial in her weight category, which was 53 kilograms. So she was forced to either go up to 56 or come down to 50. And we've seen all that has happened over the last 48 hours and how the entire country today is saddened by the aspect as to how she's been forced and treated and mistreated by the system. Now, does India really deserve to get even a single medal? Just allow me. Does India deserve to get even a single medal? My answer is India should not even get one single medal. Does Indian athlete deserve? Surely, they deserve the world. How does an Indian athlete perform at the international level?
That's a very strong word.
Allow me to complete. Yes, I only make strong statements. I will not sit out
30
here.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, and then I'll have to move on because I have to go to others as well.
So when you ask me what is wrong in the system, let me give you 3 examples of what is wrong. Every single sports federation is either run by an incompetent, unprofessional, corrupt, or corroded, deeply conflicted administrator. Either he's a politician or he or she is an a bureaucrat. Neither of these two, no ABC of sports. Number 2, right from bottom till the top, there is a set electoral college. You scratch my back, I will scratch your back. These are incompetent, unprofessional people who are manning Indian sports. Each one of them needs to be shown the door and thrown out. Who will do it? God knows. I've been fighting this for last 20 years in the court. We have made some progress. There are certain landmark judgments.
Okay.
But the biggest, allow me please,
All right.
10 seconds more. The biggest culprit of it all is the agency which is the author of the law which governs sports in India, called the Sports Code of India, which has been taken out by the Government of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, and they are the biggest violators of the sports code. Look at what they've done in wrestling. They have supported their own Brij Bhushan Sharan
all right,
saying
all
an
right.
MP,
I
and
have to go to the other
they have
panelists. You
supported-
have made some important points, but before I go to the other panelists, I also have to speak something about Vinesh Phogat at this point. It's important to remember possibly her case right now, her petition for her silver medal being divided and being allowed to her is being heard in the Court of Arbitration of Sport. And this is possibly an important development. It may be just happening as we are discussing this show, and we should be very soon. We should get to know what the court's decision is. But Vedam Jaishankar, if I can come to you, you've been a journalist for a very long time covering sports. Some tough words have been said in this show. There are some people who think like that. But how do you look at all of this in perspective of the Olympics?
See, Indian sport has come a long way. It doesn't matter which sport you look at. It's really come a long way. The big problem that we have is we don't know the route. The route is very important. When I speak of route, I say that, when you have a kid, you want the kid to go to, let's say, IIT, you know the route. You put him into first standard, that first standard teacher prepares him for the second standard teacher hands him over to third standard. Likewise, it goes on. So there's a route, and finally you know what to do. You write the entrance exam. You may not pass the entrance exam. There's some other exam for you to write. You become an engineer, doctor, or whatever you become. So you know the route for each and everything. In sports, that route is not known. If you really look at the Indian sports entire diaspora, who are the people who are doing well? It's the children of sportsmen. Cricket is an honorable exception because cricketers' children really don't do well. But in any other sports, if you look at it, it's sportsmen's children. Because the sportsmen have already known the route. That is why Gopi Chand's wards are able to do well. That is why Prakash Padukone's wards are able to do well. That's why Ramanathan Krishnan's or Vijay Amritaraj's, their wards are able to do well. They train, they handle it. The big problem in India is just that. We just don't know the route. Luckily for us in cricket, now with IPL and other things, we get in a whole lot of outside coaches, trainers, etc., who are actually preparing, and that knowledge is passed downwards. When you pass downwards, it has to go to the under 12, under 8, under 9 sections. And we are seeing that happening. And even today, in many other sports, football, for instance, or basketball, there is a transfer of knowledge. And those are the people who will come up. We cannot be too hasty about this. It's a long drawn process. If you say how India did 20 years ago and compare it with what we are doing now, definitely we have improved. Others have also improved, but we have really improved. You look at, say, hockey, for instance, which we have done well today. Pakistan and India were the power horses. Where is Pakistan today? They are nowhere in the picture. At one stage, it looked like India too would be confined to that. But luckily, for the last 2 Olympics, we've done tremendously well. And we also imported knowledge. We have not said only Indians know how to coach hockey, how to train hockey, etc., etc. So fitness levels have improved, the technology has improved, a whole lot of other things have come into play. So if you get impatient and say, we have not done this, we have not done that, we have 1.4 billion, but how many of them have access to sports? We have a whole lot of people who don't even have food. What access to sports are we talking of? There are very few people, maybe a percentage, 1% of the population will have access to sport. So there's no real cribbing about it. It will take a long time. It's not just cleaning up the administrators. You have to clean so much. The thing has to be started right from the nursery level. Spotting talent, grooming talent, nurturing talent, and of course things like exercises, diet, a whole lot of other things. So we have a long way to go. It's good that we have improved tremendously in these last few years. Like I said, if you compare it with about 20 years ago, we have definitely gone a long, long, long way.
Okay, we're totally out of time. Let me just take my last question at this point to Utsav Mishra. Utsav Mishra, you just heard Vedam Jaishankar speak about, look at where India and Pakistan are vis-a-vis Olympics. Well, they are definitely at one place, and that's the finals for the javelin. While we are speaking about much that needs to be done. There's also there are teen prodigies who are now showing the results, and then you have others like Neeraj Chopra, who is it's literally like, who else will get a gold? Because Neeraj Chopra is often counted as somebody who will get the gold. The point really is, who else will get the gold? You know, so from where we were to where we are now, before we wind the show, what are you really looking for the match later tonight that possibly much of India will be awake watching?
I wish Neeraj all the best and the country all the best for it. We must get this gold. And as you mentioned about the joint silver arbitration going on, I hope we get it. And like Mr. Jaishankar just mentioned, we have come a long way. Definitely, we have progressed a lot. Like the number of athletes who used to qualify for Olympics in previous years and today is a bigger, because like Olympics it contains a qualification mark. We must understand we are going, it's a tough journey. Definitely not lot of people are able to take it professionally or the way it should be taken. There are a lot of conflicts between different agencies of government that needs to be sorted out. I would say first of all, we need to set accountability. Then only we can see gold. Like someone just mentioned, gentleman just mentioned, the color of medal should only be gold. Once the accountability is set, definitely the journey will be easier and more progressive. Then we can have more smiles.
Right.
Yes,
Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. I know some of you have your hands up, but we are totally out of time. We have so many more discussions lined up. It's going to be a very important night and days ahead. Vedam Jaishankar, Utsav Mishra, Ranjit Bajaj, as well as Rahul Mehra. Thank you very much for joining us.